Legal loopholes. Credit repair tactics exposed. Chapter 15. Stopping debt collectors in their tracks. Debt validation. Debt validation is an extremely powerful tool which can be used to force debt collectors to actually validate the debt. The debt collectors must validate the debt if you dispute any portion of the debt or request the name and address of the original creditor. If the debt collector fails to validate the account, they must in turn cease all collection and reporting activity of the account in question. There is a substantial difference in merely verifying a debt and validating a debt. For a debt collector to properly validate a debt, they must do more than just send you an itemized printout of the debt. They have to actually provide you the following: the amount of the debt, the name of the creditor to whom the debt is owed, the verification of the debt, or a copy of a signed judgment against the consumer. In addition, once the consumer has requested that the debt collector validate the debt collector must cease all collection activity until they validate the debt. The FDCPA states as follows: Section 809, Validation of Debts. Paragraph B. If the consumer notifies the debt collector in writing within the 30-day period described in subsection A that the debt or any portion thereof is disputed, or that the consumer requests the name and address of the original creditor, the debt collector shall cease collection of the debt or any disputed portion thereof until the debt collector obtains verification of the debt or any copy of the judgment, or the name and address of the original creditor and a copy of such verification or judgment, or name and address of the original creditor is mailed to the consumer by the debt collector. How this typically works is that within 5 days of any communication with you in regard to any debt or alleged debt, a debt collector must notify you in writing that you have 30 days to dispute the validity of the debt. You then have 30 days to request in writing that the debt collector validate the debt. In your letter, you can simply request that they validate the account and notify them that you have decided to dispute the debt. Once you send this letter, all collection activities, including legal actions, must cease until they send you the mandated validation. It is important to note that the debt validation only applies to the debt collector and not the creditor. The difference in the two can be seen in the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act definition as follows. The term creditor means any person who offers or extends credit creating a debt or to whom a debt is owed, but such term does not include any person to the extent that he receives an assignment or transfer of the debt in default solely for the purpose of facilitating collection of such debt for another. The term debt collector means any person who uses any instrumentality of interstate commerce or the mails in any business, the principal purpose of which is the collection of any debts, or who regularly collects or attempts to collect directly or indirectly debts owed or due or asserted to be owed to another. Continuing on. If over 30 days have gone by since you have sent your initial request for validation and you have not gotten no response, send the debt collector the second letter for failure to validate the debt. Additionally, you can dispute the account with the credit bureaus and send them the verifying documentation that the debt collector has failed to respond or verify the debt, which is the certified mail, the receipt of returned, and a copy of the initial letter to the debt collector, any other documentation that you may have. When sending the disputed account with the credit bureaus, request that they delete the account. Interestingly enough, many of the prominent financial advisors and credit repair experts have come to the new realization that it is possible to remove accurate negative information using the FDCPA validation process. Some of their newfound theories are based on the debt collector's inability to maintain and produce older files pertaining to the consumer to validate the debt. Other experts say that an original account could be sold 2 or 3 times, again, making it hard to produce the required documentation for validation. Regardless of the many theories, everyone seems to agree one essential thing: the older the account, the easier it is to get deleted.